As you can see, I ran out of room in my small home arcade. While I'm grateful for the space I have, it really is no more than an extra wide hallway between two rooms in my basement. But was I really out of space? Part of my game room was once an exterior concrete basement wall. I'd often thought I could mount something to it, but what? Enter the Partycade from Arcade1Up. These compact machines are similar to Arcade1Up's larger cabinet-based games and use the same controls and 17-inch screen size. But Partycades can mount flat to a wall, sticking out into the room just 8 inches at its base. I found an Asteroids 8-in-1 version in one of those deals that were just too good to pass up, so I decided to give it a shot. The Partycade comes fully assembled and includes hardware to make it freestanding for countertop use or hang over the back of a door. Most importantly though, it includes hardware to mount it directly to a wall. I definitely wanted mine wall mounted, but while it comes with anchors for drywall installation, I have concrete. I was going to need something a bit different. To start, using a tape measure, I determined that 42 inches is the average control deck height on my other games. I'm 6 feet tall and I have back problems, so I've added 4-inch riser bases to all of my games to make them more comfortable to play. I set my tape measure to 42 inches, then held the Partycade against the wall with its deck at that height so I could mark the top with a pencil. I then held the metal wall bracket in place, sighting my mark through the bottom line of holes and set the game's hangers at the right height. While concrete is harder to drill than drywall, it's not impossible. You can use a standard cordless drill as long as you have a concrete bit. To mount the bracket to the wall, I used 1 1/4 inch Tapcon screws. These have blade-like threads that allow them to bite into the concrete without needing plastic anchors. You can get these at most home centers, and the best part is they come with the correct size concrete drill bit right in the box. Concrete dust makes a total mess and it gets into everything. I placed a garbage can along the wall under the work area, and I used a double layer of 2-inch wide painter's tape to make dust catches under each hole. It took me about 5 minutes to complete both holes. When finished, I carefully removed the tape holding the concrete dust, then wiped down the wall surface with a damp rag. The Tapcons require a star bit to drive them in. I added 1/4 inch washers to mine for a more secure hold in the wide bracket openings. Be careful not to over-tighten the Tapcons as you can easily break off the screw heads. With the bracket installed, I checked it with a level one last time to make sure it went on straight. Before installing the Partycade, I needed to make a couple of simple modifications to it. Arcade1Up includes L brackets to add a second attachment point to the bottom of the machine when wall mounting it. I laid the Partycade on a work table, set the brackets in place, then marked the screw locations with an awl. I drilled pilot holes using a small bit and installed the brackets with the supplied screws and a screwdriver. While I was at it, I removed the screws holding the plexiglass screen and deck protectors to the game and peeled away the protective plastic. I then wiped them down with a damp microfiber cloth to remove any dust and reinstalled them. Because I was mounting my Partycade right next to an outlet, I didn't need much more than 12 inches of power cord. So I decided to mount the large transformer box inside the cabinet. By removing the back panel, I discovered there's lots of room in the bottom of the machine under the control deck. I carefully worked the power cord's mounting plug out of its hole using a screwdriver. Next, I made a new opening for the power cord using a 1-inch Forstner bit. I drilled the hole just deep enough to allow the flat cord to fit between the game's base and the back panel. With those things complete, I returned to the game room and hung the cabinet on its mounting brackets. I then marked the locations for the L brackets with a pencil and drilled the holes in the concrete using the same techniques I'd used for the wall bracket. This was an easy project that should take you under an hour to complete. The finished installation is very solid and I'm pleased with how it turned out. Does the Partycade deliver the same experience as my freestanding arcade cabinets? Well, not quite. The controls are very close to the screen, which takes some getting used to, and a lighted marquee would have been really nice. However, the sleek profile of the Partycade did allow me to add a few more of my favorite games, such as Lunar Lander and Warlords, to an arcade that only yesterday seemed to have no more room. Now that I know that it works, I have space for 2 more behind the door. Super Pac-Man Partycade, anyone? For more of my easy Arcade1Up mod projects, check out my YouTube channel, Pop Art Studios.